Hey y'all, welcome back. I'm super excited that you clicked on this video. We're going to be doing a drugstore makeup tutorial, and I'm going to be doing a super fun, super simple summer look, and I'm going to be using drugstore products only. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so for primer today, I have two absolute favorite drugstore primers. Let me scoot my table a little bit closer. And one of them is the Milani Instant Touch-Up Blur Stick, like this. And then the other one is Maybelline Baby Skin Pore Eraser. I think this is the one that I reach for the most. The other one is really good, but this one is just the one that I reach for the most. And as you can tell, it's almost completely gone. And so I'm going to take what is actually left of it, and we're going to throw it away. Sad. So I need to buy another one. But it's clear. I mean, it looks like this. It's super clear. It just helps erase all those pores and those lines. So I'm just going to rub it on my fingers and then put it on places where I wrinkle or have big pores, or so basically I have big pores here, here, and here. But I have a wrinkle right here that I'm going to actually blend this in. So I put it on and blend it a little bit with my fingers, and then I'm going to actually take my beauty blender, or it's a knockoff beauty blender, so it's a drugstore as well, and blend it in. And I blend my pore filling primers all the way up my to my eyes, because I have, especially this eye, I have like one little wrinkle that just, it drives me bananas. Make sure you blend it on your nose and just blend it out, priming, and then using what's left to just prime the entire face. Okay, and now that that is blended, I'm going to be doing foundation. And where did I put my foundation? Oh, of course, I forgot to grab it. So for foundation today, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. Looks like this. This is a super great summer foundation. It's a natural foundation, so it's not super matte and dry, and it's not super cakey, but it's not, I have oily skin, I have combination skins, but it's not like too much for dry skin, and it works well for combination for me, because I do get like dry spots in here, but like I'm oily in my T-zone, and I can set this with powder and it works really well. And then I'm just going to blend on my face using my sponge and making sure I blend, and I put it on the back of my hand. As you can see, it's a little runny. It's not like super runny, but it's kind of runny. And then we're gonna just blend it into the skin, making sure to get the middle. So what I really do is I focus the foundation first where I get red, because I have some redness, and I will blend down from there. Blend it out. Because in the summer, especially, I personally just don't like wearing a ton of foundation. And then I blend it down my neck. I need another pump. Pump it up. Pump that foundation up. Blending it all the way down my neck, because as you can see, my face, I don't know if you can see, but like my face and my chest are the same color, but my neck is not, and so I like to match my face and my chest first. And blending my forehead. And then just really making sure that it is all blended and pressed into the skin. I think especially right here, I need to make sure I got foundation, because foundation just doesn't like to stick there for some unknown reason. And then for concealer, let me grab it. I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. And it looks like this. And this is a super great concealer. It has very similar consistency to the Tarte Shape Tape. Like, look at the foot of it. It looks very, very similar to the Tarte Shape Tape. And this is a very full wear concealer. And since this is a full coverage, not full wear, it is a very full coverage concealer. And since I'm using a very medium coverage foundation, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take it, because you don't want to wear like a super full coverage concealer and then like a medium coverage foundation, because it just doesn't match. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the concealer on the back of my hand. I'm going to take the side of my sponge and I'm going to dab it in the concealer and dab it under my eyes. Making sure, because I always start a little lower and then blend it up, because you don't want to cake it right under the eyes, because that's where you'll crease. And you don't want creases. Even though I always crease no matter what I do. It stinks. Making sure you blend her out. And then I always put my concealer over my eyes, just to act as a base. Gets everything even in color and everything. That spot is not blending well. And then I'll take a little bit of concealer on the very tip of the brush, or the tip of the sponge, and do under my nose right here, because I get really, really red right there. So making sure that I cover that up. You can use your finger to blend it too. It does well too with your finger. And then doing the other side. And then what is ever left of the concealer, after I feel like it's good, I'll take it and blend it on my chin and in the center of my forehead, and then blend it out, because I like this area to be a little lighter, the center of my face. And then just going around again and making sure everything is well blended. The trick to makeup, one of the best tricks, is you can never blend enough. You can always add more if the sponge blends some away. You can add more, you can do whatever you need to do. But blending, let me check mine, actually in the mirror. Yeah. And then I actually let my foundation sit for a minute before I powder it. So I'm going to let it sit, dry a little bit, so I can really see where I need powder. And so I'm going to go ahead and move on to my brows. Hey guys, so I am skipping through my brows because I cannot speak when I am doing them. So I decided to skip ahead to show you how I cleaned up my brows. So you just want to take a concealer and a flat tip brush, or just a flat brush, and take it and run it around your brows, around the shape. And then once you have your shape filled out, you want to take your finger, or you can either use the brush and blend it out, but just make sure that you have the concealer around the shape of the brow. But if you do mess up and come a little up into the brow, just take your brow pencil and fill it back in. So I'm actually going to speed through the rest of my brows, and then you're going to see how I bake. I'm going to bake my under eyes, but I need to make sure that everything is well blended. Yeah. And then I'm going to take my Airspun loose face powder. I got it from, you can get this from Walmart, CVS, wherever. It's a good little face powder. I'm going to take my sponge. I'm going to dip it in some powder. I don't want a ton. And then I'm just going to look in my mirror again. Make sure you have a mirror. And place it there. I don't want like a whole ton of powder, but I do want enough to like bake the area. Yeah, and then I'm gonna actually set the rest of my T-zone area with a big fluffy brush, a little bit of powder, and just right where I would get oily, which would be like my chin, my nose, and the forehead. So ta-da! Now we're gonna move on to the eyes. And one of my absolute favorite drugstore palettes for your eyes is actually, you can tell how much I love this. It's the Profusion Naturals. It's just a really good palette. I absolutely love it. But I would be starting usually with a big fluffy brush, but my big fluffy brush broke. As I'm saying in the video, the audio is just not very good. So I decided to take a fluffy crease brush instead, and I dip it into the color Heavenly, which is this gorgeous neutral pink color, good for a base shade. And then I just start blending in circular motions across the eye and making sure that you have a good base in this color. And you see me over there talking and talking, but the audio was absolutely horrible, so I needed to do a voiceover. I think it's time that I buy a microphone. I'm not quite sure yet. And just blending, making sure that both eyes look somewhat even. And then I'm going to be taking a tighter crease brush, and I'm going to be dipping it in a orangish color, and it is not super loud, but it is a soft orange, and blending that into the crease as well. Orange is just one of those colors, especially for my hazel eyes, that just make the color pop. And again, making sure that it is equally blended into the crease, and then moving on to the other side and making sure you do the same over there as well. I'm going to take Attached and blend it right in the crease. Just to make it look a little bit darker. Like I said, we're going with a light summery look today, so I'm not going to go too crazy. Just going to blend that. And I'm going to take the first brush that I used with Heavenly and just make sure everything is well blended. I might do a wing today. Yeah, we'll do a wing. Why not? I'm not great at them, but we'll try. So I'm going to take my angle brush. This is from e.l.f. It's a little black angle brush. And I'm going to take the color Outspoken. It's this soft, or it's not soft, it's a deep brown. I prefer brown for if I'm going to do liner, especially with shadows, because I just feel like brown just matches my eyes a little bit better. How I do my liner, I don't do a dramatic wing, especially because I'm doing them with shadow. I'm actually going to wet my brush. Okay, so my brush is wet. The little facial spray. I'm going to dip it into this brown, and I'm literally just going to take the brush and stamp it. And then create a wing from there. So I'm just going to line my eye. And so once you stamp it, oh, it's a little wet, water on my brush. Once you stamp it, you want to take from that corner and drag it to your eye. Like I said, I'm not doing anything too crazy. And then just lining my eye with the same shadow. Okay. That needs to be a little darker right there. So since I showed you one eye, I just decided to speed through the other because it's the same process, making sure that they look even and that they're dark, and if one looks a little higher than the other one, fixing the other one so that they're even. the good thing about eyeshadow, using eyeshadow, is when you're not great with wings, this is what I suggest, because instead of using liner like one and done, you have to darken it a little bit. So if you do mess up, it's not super, super noticeable. And then just pulling this back and making sure that they look somewhat even. Which they do not. So we're gonna there we go. Yep. Look a little better, I think. Probably not, but whatever. Grab my eyelash curler. Which one is it? I use two because I curl my lashes because they do not stay. They do not know how to stay curled. They go, oh, you're trying to curl me. I'm not doing that. And then they just go right back. So then I'm going to take my eyelash curler. Make sure you're getting as close to the base of the lashes as possible. Okay. Ooh. And I just realized I never wiped off that excess powder that I had on. I didn't have a lot of it on, just making sure it's off my face so I don't look super powdery. And then I'm going to be using, for mascara, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I love this mascara. It's actually compared to the Better Than Sex mascara. And then I'm just going to take this and apply it from my lashes, from the root to the tip. I mean, ugh, look at the difference that mascara makes in your makeup. Mascara is just like, it's taking it from like makeup to like, ooh, you got some lashes, you got some makeup, ooh girl. And doing the other side. I'll probably do 2 or 3 coats of this because I just love thick, long, voluminous looking lashes. And then I'm going to take, for a bronzer today, for a nice golden bronzy look, I'm going to take my brush from Wet n Wild. I cleaned all my brushes for you guys today. Don't do that very often. And dip it in the Ulta Contour Kit, the golden bronzer. And take it, and so I do bronzer kind of where you would contour, but I just do a little bit more. And so you do it in the 3 shape, but I always start right under my cheekbones and then blend it. So doing the forehead right here and then always under the chin to get rid of that double chin that homegirl over here got. Just blend it away. Blend it away. And then doing the same thing on this side, starting here, blending a little bit, and then starting from the forehead, blending down, blending right here. Oh no, there's a spot right there. Just take my brush and blend that out. Okay. And doing it again. Making sure to blend it here. If these batteries do not stop giving out on me, might have an issue. Might have a come apart. So we just did bronzer. And so I'm just gonna make sure it is completely blended. You know, don't want streaky, like a brown streak right there, because that's not cute. Not cute. Oh, it's raining. Oh, it's beautiful. I do not have any drugstore blush, so I'm not going to do any blush because I can't seem to find my drugstore one, and this is the drugstore only video. And so for highlight today, I am so excited about this palette. I love this palette so much. It is the Rach Loves Layering Palette by Pixie. It has all these different highlights in it. See? And it is like to die for. So the sense of this palette is that you're layering your highlight for every occasion, and it has a mirror in it, which is super important to me, to have a mirror in a palette, especially something like this. It's just great, and it's a big mirror. So I'm going to take today, I'm going to be doing tea, and I'm using this. It's technically a concealer brush, a fluffy concealer brush, but I use it for highlight and just highlighting the high points of my face. I'm going to go in with lace, because lace is this pinky highlight, and I'm just going to layer that right on the highest high points of my face. And I do my highlight right here. And lace is like this gorgeous color. It's beautiful for the inner corner, which we're going to do in a second. And then I'm going to take tea actually and do my brow bone. Oh, so pretty. And lace, I'm just going to do it on my finger and put that in the inner corner. Oh, I mean, just look at this highlight. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love this highlight. And then for the last thing that I'm going to do, since I have a little bit of mascara under my eyes, I'm going to take a spoolie and just rub it, and it comes right off because it's dry. And so I don't have, my favorite setting spray is actually by Milani. It's super good. Their Make It Last, their matte one, or their dewy one's really, really good. Pixie setting sprays are really good, but I cannot seem to find them, so I'm just going to do a facial spray today. And just do a little bit to make sure that it doesn't look super powdery and look super, like super cakey. And then I'm going to grab my lip gloss, which I have to tell y'all, I keep this lip gloss with me 24/7. I am obsessed with it. It is by Revlon, and it doesn't even have its sticker on it anymore. It is the Super Lustrous, and this is in 215, this Super Natural. And then I just take it, because it's like this brown color, but as you can see, like, I have used this lip gloss so much, but it's like the best lip gloss. It's not super sticky, it's not super tacky, it just glides on the lips and gives it a little color. And then doing the Cupid's bow. And yeah, so that is it. That is my super, I wouldn't say it's simple anymore. I went a little extra today, but that is my summer makeup routine. It's not heavy. Like, I don't feel like there's a ton of foundation, and I don't feel like there's a ton of products on my face. And so yeah, bye y'all.